Yo, my mic wasn't working. We're good. I think we're green. All right. Yo, what the fuck? My bad, team. Give me a minute. Started the class a little bit late. That's on me. I was stuck in traffic for like an hour and a half. I gotta test this out. I don't even know if we're working. Testing, testing, testing. Perfect. All right, cool. Hope everyone is having a great night so far, and hope everyone had a good trading day. Again, for me personally, nothing on the charts. Right. Tonight's session is gonna be pretty quick. We're going to be going over the pairs that you see on the right hand side with the red flag next to their name, starting off with AUD/USD, finishing off with silver, going in order from the top to the bottom. If you guys have any questions about any specific pair, whether or not they're on our list, let me know. There's a few questions I'll have to answer in the stream um, from our chat from today. We'll go over Bitcoin because I did get a question on Bitcoin. Actually, I want to go look at Bitcoin. I said yesterday we had a gap. Um, could have sworn that I saw one, but I was probably mistaken. Let me just take a look real quick from the top to the bottom. First day no gap, second day no gap, third day. I thought we had a gap here on the third day. That's on me. I just was cruising through this, but on the third day I thought we had a gap. But no, we don't have a gap here. No gap here. And then for the opening day from Sunday going into Monday, this was another one I was looking at that I had mistaken the gap, but no, we don't have a gap here. So that was on me, Inferno. 100% that was on me. What was the other question? Might as well go through the questions now since I'm gonna pretty much fly through. Well, the other questions were the gaps, right? And some pairs. I want to see what pair specifically he was talking about. This is for GU. Let me see. What did I do for GU? GU, we opened up the week with a gap, right? And I have put a day of rise. Again, that was incorrect, right? This is a no net, 100%. Right. Again, that's on me. That's my bad. I was flying through the pairs. I wasn't really focusing on I wasn't really paying attention. That's on me, Inferno, 100%. That's my bad. You're 100% correct. Right? Again, when you're looking at the charts, right? And you're looking for no nets, days of rise, days of drop. What you're looking at is the opening candle and the closing candle. Right? Is the opening candle touching is the previous opening candle touching the next opening candle? If it's touching, it's a no net, right? If it's above it, obviously that's a day of rise. If it's below it, obviously that's a day of drop, right? In this case, we are touching it. It is a day of no net. I believe you were talking to me about another pair, EU. All right, let's take a look at EU real quick. EU's up here, right? EU, same thing, right? Same thing that we were just talking about with GU, right? The opening candle here, right? We're below it. It's not touching it. It's a day of drop. Now, I'll get into this as well. And is there ever a case, right? For example, here again, this is another. What day was this? Friday, right? So I 100% we were marking this up Friday. Market opened and finished on a drop, right? But this was Friday. I was marking on my charts earlier, so this is another one that I have to update. I saw this this morning actually when I woke up. I was looking at the gap, right? Same thing for this, right? This is a day of drop, but again, I updated my chart on EU. Well, we updated this on Sunday, right, for the weekly market breakdown. So before the market even opened, right? We didn't do the session this weekend, but I still updated my chart. Before the market opened, right, since it was the weekend, price ended up here, which is why I had this on a day of rise. But again, opening candles here for the week, right? We finished on a day of drop. Is there a time when I would mark it up a little bit differently? Yes, and it's gonna take me a minute to find an example, especially on a regular forex pair, since we don't really have a lot of gaps like that when the market's open. right? Same thing for here, day of rise, but this one, obviously price just continued that push to the top side. I'm just gonna go on EU. I'm not gonna take too much time trying to find a specific pair for that example. Um, right, this one we had a day of drop. It was a little gap here. Um, is I giving you guys the example without giving you guys the visual of how it looks? It's not going to make sense. So I will say this: is there times when the market opens and it's with a gap, and even though the opening candle is either above or a no net or a day of drop, um, is there times that you'll see me mark it up a little bit differently? Yes. And the reason that is usually only when it's a small gap. For example, how we just showed you here. What day was it? I already lost it. I'm not gonna find that again. I'm not finding that gap. All right, not a good example, but same thing. Day of drop. Open with a gap, reset the trend, went up. All right, we know that's moving counter trend as well. Regardless, whenever there's a small gap and we see that price, right, something like this, but again, it's already price finished at the top side, so it's not even a good example. But seeing how the gap is, right, a super small gap. If price were to have finished, let's say the opening candle is here. It's not a good example. I can't do that. I'm just gonna confuse everybody. No way. I'm not doing that. Next time we see that, or if I see it again on another pair, I'll go over it. Regardless, is there times where I would mark it up a little bit differently just based on how the opening candles look and the movement that price gives us? Absolutely. Um, or that I'd be looking at the candle before the market closes. There is specific times to do that. Again, does it happen all the time? Absolutely not. That's why you rarely see me marking on my chart like that. But there was an instance where that happened maybe a month ago, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a month ago, or it's probably in January, something like that, in the beginning of the year. Um, and again, if I find that example, I will show it to you guys. But I'm not gonna waste time and do that because again, I know it's for the most part we're already starting late. A lot of the people that we have in our group, you guys are 6, 8 hours ahead of me. And again, I apologize. I know it's late for a lot of you guys. So again, for the usuals who watch the recording, I appreciate you guys asking questions and hitting me up on Discord so I could answer these questions for you guys. And as always, for the ones who watch the recording, if you have any questions, feel free to message me on Discord. Feel free to leave a question in the comment section. Um, Again, this might be another session where we don't really have anybody on the live stream itself. So if that's the case, I'm just gonna give everybody another 2 minutes. Well, 1 minute at 25 on the dot. We will get started. Um, Give me 1 minute. Let me sync my time with my computer, yo. Yes, we got 30 seconds. All right, cool. What was I going with this? Yeah, if we don't have anybody on the live session, I'm gonna just do this quick. It's gonna be a pretty quick session today. Just gonna go over the 30-minute time frame again with a lot of these pairs. I haven't even seen my charts from after this morning. I woke up, looked at the charts, everything already hit STP or ADR by the time we woke up. There was another question, I believe it was on EA. Let me go back to the message real quick. Can you tell me why you marked this as your point of interest? It was on EA. Okay, cool. So I'll answer that question as well for you, Inferno, with EA. And I could do that real quick here as well, so I don't have to. It's easier for me to do these questions in the beginning of the stream, so then that way, um, I could just link you the stream, and then you'll find the answer right away. So again, on the daily time frame, we know we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? We got the break, right? What I'm looking at is the last red candle or the previous higher low point, right, before the break of structure. So in this case, since price had given us the last red candle, right, the lowest point, the higher low point before the break, this was the point of interest that I was looking for. Just another point of interest to be like, okay, this could be where that higher low is going to be set if price is still on an uptrend. Remember what I was saying in yesterday's stream, right? At this point for EA, you know, am I expecting price to go a little bit higher to reach into our previous peak highs somewhere in this area from the purple. You can see how I have this marked up, right? Anywhere between the purple and the peak high. Am I expecting that to happen? Yes, I would want that to happen. However, we understand that these highs are fabricated highs, right? This is pretty much an imbalance in the market. Why? Because these highs were made with just crazy moves to the top side. I believe this was, um, 2020. We had a lot of news during 2020, right? This was the beginning of COVID. Everything else, can't even say that word on stream. We'll get fucking YouTube's not gonna push our videos, but regardless, um, there was a lot of things happening here. So we know that this is just an imbalance move in the market. So I'm not expecting price to reach our previous peak highs, right? The realistic area, and you can see where I have even the circles and everything, right? Like this is pretty much the highs that I'm looking for price to reach. And did we reach those highs? Absolutely. With that being said, like I was saying yesterday, even though I'm still looking at this as higher high, higher low, because again, on the daily time frame, we are still trading higher high, higher low, higher high. I'm still leaving room for the market to give us. I'm allowing the market to make the moves it needs to make in order for us to have a better opportunity to catch the trades, right? Because again, at this moment, we're still at a higher low point. And again, as a trader, you have to give yourself that room. You have to be able to you have to be able to ask yourself the questions, which is where is the higher low going to be made? And this is why I always say, right, the more strategies you know, the better. Because, very simple. If you're a trader who trades, simple patterns, right? There's a whole bunch of traders who's trading this, who were trading this as a flag post pattern, right? And we already know the behaviors of the flag post pattern. Price gives you a clean push to the top side, or vice versa. If you're looking for a bearish flag post pattern, a clean push to the bottom side where price starts consolidating or gives you a pullback or retracement between 23.6 and 38.2 on the fibs, right? If that's what you're trading, you possibly got an entry on this, but then you see that price rejected and it went all the way back down, right? If you're a fib trader and you're looking for the golden ratio zone, which is a 50% retracement on the pullback, right, on the fib levels, again, it went to the 50%, but it just continued to push to the downside. If you're a trader that trades with the EMAs on your screen, right, you know what the 800 EMA does. Price respects the 800 EMA. We can see that price completely obliterated the 800 EMA, right? You start looking for these key levels, these psychological levels on the chart, right? Okay, where else can price give you a higher low, right? We also know that price could give you a higher low point. Price could give you a steeper pullback and go into the premium discount zone, where again, if you add your fibs, that's exactly where we're at right now, right? Let me add the other fibs so you guys can see it, right? Right now, we're in the discount zone, right? And again, as a trader, your job isn't to guess, right? That's the word I'm gonna use. Your job isn't to guess where price is gonna be at, and then when price reaches that point of interest, just to get into a trade right away. No. Your job as a trader is to have those points of interest and then wait for the confirmations that'll tell you exactly what price wants to do. Right? So just because price is at my point of interest doesn't mean I'm taking a trade right away. There's still certain things I need to see, especially, let me say this as well, depending on what your entry model is for the trade that you're looking for, right? I already know, for example, engulfing candles. I know that when I trade engulfing candles, I don't need to wait for anything else other than the fact that price gave you the retest. As soon as I get the retest of the engulfing candle, especially when I'm trading continuations with the engulfing candles, I know I could take those trades right away. I don't have to wait for the lower time frame. In this case, is a little bit different too, right? Why? Because this is on a daily time frame, right? I'm not gonna take a trade on the daily time frame. There's no way. This is too big of a time frame to be looking for an entry, right? This is if you take a trade on the daily time frame, this is EA, right? Let's just go look at the ADR real quick. It's 138 pips, a very big pair, right? I'm not going to be trading EA on the daily time frame using daily time frame highs and lows to have a 44 pip stop loss. That's insane. That's a crazy stop loss to have, right? So if I have a 4 hour or a daily time frame point of interest, I'm waiting for price to reach the point of interest, and then I'm going down into the lower time frames, the 30, the 15, the 5, the 1 minute, and I'm looking for the confirmations that okay, price reached your point of interest, price is at a higher low point. What do you want to start seeing on the lower time frames? On the lower time frames, you want to start seeing higher highs and higher lows. And here on the daily time frame, you could just see the candles. What are we doing? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, to where we're at right now. We're still on a downtrend. So again, just because price reached our point of interest, it doesn't mean I'm getting into a trade right away, especially not when price reached the point of interest on the daily time frame. Right? We'd have a completely different conversation if price gives you a point of interest on the 30-minute or the 15 or the 5 minute or the 1 minute. Right? Those are time frames where you could get away with taking those trades right away as soon as you get price to get into that point of interest. Let's tap into your point of interest. Right? So I hope that makes sense. Um, we ready again? I know there's not gonna be anybody on the stream tonight, so I started a little bit late. That's on me. That's my bad. But yeah, we'll get through this quick as well, since most of you guys watched the recording before the live trading sessions in the morning. But again, even I just want to go on the 30-minute time frame real quick before I even get started, just to kind of gauge where we're at and what we're doing, what price did today, and to just kind of understand, like, I could already just open up the chart, and as soon as I open up the chart, I already know whether or not I'm going to be looking for a trade, right? So like for EA right now, I already know I'm not really going to be looking to take any trades. AU with the first pair, that one we're still at the highs. We'll have to dabble with that one just a little bit. EU gave us a change of character back to the top side. So again, before I even take a trade on EU, and I would have loved for EU to give me a 372, but we went back down to the bottom. And all we have is a change of character. We also have a bearish engulfing candle. Let me see if it's valid. But looks like we don't have no top wick on that red candle. So, but regardless, right? What do we have? Double top. Um, GA peak high territory still pushing down. GCAD just moved sideways. Again, this is very similar to EU. Would have loved to have seen price give us the break of structure, and I would have loved to see that 372 on GCAD. GJ just still pushing up to the top side. Again, this is a pair that's in peak high territory. Still making higher highs and higher lows, right? We have the change of character, higher high, higher low. And price has not given us a valid break just yet. All of these candles are still touching that 30-minute zone. We don't have a clean break on GJ just yet. We had 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. Price missed that no net by just a fraction of a pip, literally 1 pip. We finished on another day of rise, but again, it's okay. We had a gap in the market, reset the trend, so technically we have 2 days of rise. Price can give us that third day, and like what we spoke about yesterday, anyway, the area that we're trading in with GJ as of right now doesn't make sense to force any trades. GU very similar to EU and GCAD, right? Would have loved to have seen a 372. I like that price broke above the 800. I like that price filled up the gap, but we don't have a break of structure. We're on the 800 still. Created that double top. Before I take a trade on GU, I need to see price give me that valid break. So I already know GU is another pair that we're just gonna have to be patient with. US 30, I'm looking at that shit in the morning. I'm not even gonna give myself a headache looking at that. Gold gave us a day of rise, still in this zone of consolidation that we were talking about from yesterday, pretty much from these highs to these lows. So again, gold, I already know I'm looking for a breakout, or I'm looking for the inducement for them price to start making lower lows and lower highs. Bitcoin, not trading Bitcoin, but I'll keep the chart updated for now. We also have 2 days of rise on Bitcoin, so that could be an interesting pair to keep an eye on. We're above the 800, all the EMAs are bunched up. Would be interesting to see what Bitcoin does. Oil already hit STP for the day, man. Fuck, we turning this shit off. Let me just update this real quick on the 30. Finished on a no net. Just moved sideways today. And then silver, my bad, guys. My allergies are kicking my ass, man. My nose itches like a motherfucker. Right, and then silver, we have the same kind of scenario, right? I'm looking for price to give us those breaks before we take a trade. I do like the fact that we have 2 days of rise, but again, for the usual silver, Bitcoin, US 30, they move opposite of each other. So one of these pairs are going to give us a fake out. And we have 2 days of rise on US 30 as well. Look at these candles. Look how they're printing. Just shit candles just being printed. Right, so we'll update these charts real quick. We should be done in the next few minutes. Yo, my nose is killing me. My bad. Give me a minute, guys. Nose is fucking killing me, man. All right, so AU, we know we're in an overall downtrend. Let's start on the daily time frame just so we're back on. We know what we're looking at, what we're looking for. Right, so AU daily time frame, again, we're still at the top of the zone of consolidation, A2, looking for our safety trade. We have 3 months of rise. Once again, after 3 months of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. I like the fact that now with yesterday's candle, we have an exhaustion candle at the highs, but price is still making higher highs and higher lows. We just got to be patient just a little bit longer. We're back at the highs on the 4 hour. Finally, we got the inducement. Right after the inducement, we have no valid break. So after the inducement, this is where I would want to start seeing price giving us lower lows and lower highs on the lower time frame. Right? We also have a 30-minute break of the high. We have a little change of character. So let's update this real quick. Change of character to the top side. We're trading between these lows. We have a day of rise. Price gave us a second day of rise today. Right? AU looks like the pair we want to keep an eye. What day is it today? I'm so lost. It's Tuesday. Perfect. Right? We still got tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday to continue to keep an eye on AU and start looking for those lower lows and lower highs, right? Even on the lower time frames, right? Lower time frame, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, boom, lower low, change of character, lower high. Price gave us a lower low break of structure, right? Only thing I don't like is technically speaking now we have lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. But I'm gonna say that all of this is just still part of the same trend for now. I'm gonna keep it marked up like that. I would definitely keep an eye on AU in this area. AU in these areas at these highs is very promising, right? So we'll definitely be looking at AU going into tomorrow. We'll start looking to take those trades, and then again, AU usually is a Asia session, London session pair to keep an eye on. So let's keep in mind that we could wake up tomorrow and price could already hit ADR STP for the day for AU, and especially now where a lot of these pairs are just moving very, 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 very early. Every single pair is. It doesn't even matter what it is. Right? EA, once again, like I said, and I'm gonna turn it off. Right? I know I'm not gonna be looking at EA. I'm waiting to trade EA. I'm waiting it out. I'm not trading this. I'm not gonna say that we're in level 2 on a downtrend. I'm not gonna say that we're still at a higher low. At this moment, I'm just trading what's in front of me. Right? And we already know we have 3 months drop. After 3 months, the market must move sideways or go up. Right now, we're still making lower lows and lower highs. And again, we're still in the beginning of the month. We're only a week into the month. We still have 3 weeks for price to start giving us the moves that we want to see. And if price doesn't give us the moves that we want to see, all good. Right? At the moment, what I want to see before I even consider taking shorts on EA, I need to see price give me a break of the daily lows. Without the break of the daily lows, I can't take a trade going short because again, we're still trading higher high, higher low, higher high, and price could still just be going and giving us a steeper higher low point to then continue into a higher high. So EA, I'm just being super patient with it. I'm not gonna force any trades. EuroCAD, we're still in peak high territory, very similar situation. All we have is a change of character, inducement of the low. Could this continue up to an uptrend, especially having this gap at the top of the market? Absolutely. So again, with ECAD, just taking it day by day. I'm waiting for the confirmations. Lower time frames, we're still trading lower low, lower high, and lower low. As soon as we start making higher highs and higher lows, that's when I'll be trading it. right? So as of right now, ECAD is another pair I could turn off. And again, I want to start updating my charts. I kind of want to start showing you guys how it is that I approach going into the charts on a day-to-day basis, right? Because again, the number one question, or the number one, I guess, um, what's the word I'm looking for? The number one concern that I usually get with a lot of traders is, you know, you go online, you go on social media, and you listen to these social media gurus, because again, we can't call them traders, right? These social media gurus, the marketing geniuses that they are. The number one thing you always see people online say is, "Oh, you're only supposed to be looking at one pair," and we go into your stream and you're looking at 16, 17 different pairs, right? It's simple. Why? Because once again, number one, I have hours and hours and hours on the charts. I'm able to update all these pairs. I'm able to keep them all together. I'm able to see everything happening at once. That's the number one thing. The second thing is, again, if one specific pair that you're looking at, especially at times like these, when we're in the middle of a war, shit is just moving sideways. If that one specific pair that you're trading isn't giving you the moves that you want to see, you're more inclined to start chasing trades and just taking trades because you feel like, oh, I haven't traded in 2 weeks, I need to take a trade. And you're just going to start taking whatever bullshit entry you're going to take. And that's why a lot of traders lose. So, again, yes, as a beginner trader, somebody who's just learning how to trade, absolutely look at one pair, right? Get yourself comfortable just looking at one pair. Once you get to a point where you understand what you're seeing, and not only understand what you're seeing, but when you're able to really see what it is that you're looking for and why, start adding more pairs into your charts. If you're looking at 3, 4 different pairs and you still feel overwhelmed, then again, just go and look at one pair. But there is going to get to your trading is, if you take it serious, once again, if you take trading serious, you're going to get to a point where you're not feeling overwhelmed. It's just another Tuesday. It's just another Wednesday. It's just another day on the charts, yo. It's just another day on the job. Just think about it like that. You think surgeons feel overwhelmed? Like, oh man, I just looked at 15 patients today on a 12-hour shift. No, right? It gets to a point where you're used to it. You ever, as a surgeon, you already know what you're looking at, right? As a lawyer, you think lawyers feel the same. Wow, I'm so overwhelmed. Like, yeah, you could feel overwhelmed. Cool, right? It's a human emotion. Whatever, it is what it is, right? But a professional in whatever career they're in, you get to a point where you no longer feel overwhelmed. It gets to a point where you're already so accustomed to seeing this. You're already knowledgeable enough to be able to do more than one thing at once. You're able to multitask. You're able to keep tabs. Like, you're able to have multiple things happen at once, and you could juggle everything. Right? So it's the same way in trading. Again, of course, when you're just learning how to trade, it's going to overwhelm you, because if you don't know what's going on with one pair and you don't know what to mark up on one pair, you're definitely not going to know what to do on 100 different pairs. Especially if you start looking at pairs like GJ and US30 and gold and oil and silver, which are pairs that move hundreds of pips on a day-to-day basis. That's why you always hear me say, if you're a beginner trader, you have no reason to be looking at these big pairs. Just look at AU, just look at EU, just look at GU. These are pairs that move 50, 60 pips, 40 pips on a day to day basis. That's manageable. It's easy to look at pairs that are moving very slowly, right? But when you're looking at pairs like GJ that moves 140 pips on a day to day basis, or gold that moves 400 pips, or US30 that moves 400 pips, or Bitcoin that moves 400, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to look at, right? It's bigger moves that you have to consider. So again, that's just another piece of information that it's very useful. Once again, as a beginner trader, just stay focused on one pair. Get comfortable with that one pair. And once you're comfortable with that one pair, turn on another pair. Go look at another pair. Go mark up another pair. Get comfortable with being able to manage. You did one pair, okay, go look at two. You're able to do 2 pairs. Okay, now go look at 4. You're able to look at 4 pairs. Go look at 5. You're able to look at 5. Go look at 7. Keep adding pairs to your list. Keep getting comfortable looking at more than just one pair at a time. And again, it's a little bit easier now because, again, with everything going on, most of these pairs, as you can see, most of these pairs are moving the exact same way. So you're looking at the same thing happen back to back to back to back times, right? And the more you see it, the easier it's going to be over time to get used to it. The more you see it, right, the easier it's going to be able to retain the information. Right, GA gave us a change of character. We're waiting for a break. Never gave us a break. Gave us the inducement. Came back down. Went right back down to the bottom. Right, so we already know. Cool. We're trading now between these highs. And this is gonna be another pair where at this moment I'm just gonna update the 30-minute. I'm not gonna do nothing on the daily and the 4 hour. Um, and GA is still a pair in peak high territory as well. Very similar, not similar anymore because now we have that change of character to the bottom side, right? But again, we already know we were in peak high. Price gave us the push of the previous peak high. Could we say that this is level 2 on a downtrend? Absolutely. So GA, again, right now I'm not trading it. We're at a lower low point. Right, so what am I looking for on GA? Before I trade it, I need to see a lower high. I need to see a pullback. Once we get that pullback, I'll start trading it. We have 2 months to drop. This month being the third month, price gave us that third month low already. Cool. There's gonna be another pair that in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna start trading GA for sure, for sure. But as of right now, I have no interest. GCAD gave us a change of character to the top side, so we're trading now between these highs, and we'll go to the daily time frame again. I got y'all. Oh, my phone just vibrated, and I did not like how that felt. Oh, fuck. And I cannot wait to wash my face. Dude, I literally got home and just came right into the room. Pause. Wrong line. 30-minute change. Low, the high. We had a day of rise and then a day of drop. All right, so we're waiting for the break. Now again, GCAD. This is another pair, once again, where I'm expecting that third push to previous peak highs. We're in a zone of consolidation where price is rejecting highs and rejecting lows. We're back at the lows. We're back in the safety trade. Price gave us an exhaustion candles at the bottom side. Perfect. We have 3 weeks of drop. After 3 weeks of drop, the market must move sideways or go up. Perfect. GCAD is definitely a pair for this week that I want to see. But again, before I take a trade on GCAD, I need to see price give me a valid break of structure of these highs. So again, I already know tomorrow I'm not going to be looking for a trade on this pair. When am I going to start looking for a trade on this pair? Thursday, Friday, right? Today's Tuesday, sorry, right? Wednesday, yeah. Thursday or Friday at the end of the week or going into even next week, depending on when we get this break of structure, that's when I'm going to want to start seeing. That's when I'm going to start looking for entries on GCAD. So right now I already know. Just take a step back. We're waiting for the break. As soon as we get the break, we're good. As soon as we get the break, we're good. GJ, I really don't want to mark this as higher high, higher low here in this area. I want to say that all of this is still part of the same trend. We don't really have a clean pullback. I'm gonna mark it up like this for now, and then tomorrow I'll get back on GJ again. Like GJ for me, regardless, overall daily time frame, 4 hour time frame, I don't like where we're at. I don't like how price is moving. Not comfortable trading GJ at this moment. I'm letting price do what it has to do. Right, so I'm not even gonna give myself a headache looking at GJ. Again, another pair, I'm just gonna turn it off for now. Um, GU gave us a day of drop. Once again, very similar to the other pair. Before I could even take a trade, I need to see price give me that break of structure. We had a gap here at the top of the market. Price filled up the gap. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted to see. The next thing we want to see is price give us that break of structure. So again, that's another pair that potentially for the end of the week or even going into next week, that's when I'm going to want to start looking to take those trades. US 30, you guys already know. I'm not doing an analysis on US 30. I'm going to be looking at this in the morning. If I turn the stream on tomorrow morning, if we still have something to trade by the time we wake up, I'll give my analysis. Gold, similar situation, but it's simple. We're in a zone of consolidation. I'm not trading gold right now. I'm waiting for gold to start giving us a trend, like I was saying yesterday, and like how I've been saying for the last couple streams, for the last couple weeks. The trend is your friend. If a specific pair is not trending, I'm not trading it. It's that simple. It's that simple. The trend is your friend, yo. You go online, everybody says it, but when you have to go and you start following the rules, who really follows those rules? Nobody. Everybody's taking bullshit trades everywhere on the fucking pairs and on the market. They're not even focusing on market structure. The trend is your friend, but you see that they just took a trade on a zone of consolidation straight to stop loss. I'm good, yo. I'm good. I'm so good. Trust me, I'm good. I'm waiting it out. I have no reason to force these trades. Again, there's no reason to feel like, oh, I'm missing out on trades and the market is moving without me. No, bro, fuck that. It doesn't work that way. It's very simple. Are you following your rules? Yes or no? If yes, then perfect. Look for the trade. If you're not following your rules and you're looking for trades regardless, you already know why you lost. We don't even have to talk about it. Right? If you took a trade and you start back testing the trade that you took and you realize that you took a trade without following your rules, you already know why you lost. You're not following your rules. The trend is your friend. What is price doing? Moving sideways. The fuck are we trading? What are we trading? Is that simple? It really is that simple. It really is that simple. Right? If you're driving and you go to a traffic light and the traffic light is red and you say, fuck it, I'm gonna go anyway because I know better than the traffic light. And then you get T-boned. Who's at fault? Why'd you get into that car accident? Because the light was green or because the light was red? Like, who's at fault? It's the same thing. It's the same thing when you're trading. If price is in a zone of consolidation, and again, you already know the definition of a zone of consolidation, especially for the people who watch our streams every single day, especially for the people who do one-on-one sessions with me every single day, the ones who ask questions every single day. You guys already know. What is a zone of consolidation? A zone of consolidation is an area in the market where the market makers are trapping traders. They're inducing traders to get into a trade to hunt for stop losses, to hit your stop loss, to make you believe that you're seeing what you want to see, to go straight to stop loss. You already understand the behavior of the market when the market is ranging, when the market is moving sideways, when the market is in a zone of consolidation. If you already understand the definition and you know it and you see it and you're able to visualize it on the charts, you're able to pinpoint the fact that silver right now is in a zone of consolidation. Why are you taking a trade? Once again, the trend is your friend. If there's no trend, there's no fucking trade. It's that simple. It really is that simple. This isn't rocket science. Everybody online is going to tell you, yo, risk management, and you have to take 2 trades a day. How are you going to take 2 trades a day if there's nothing to trade? There's a reason why at the end of the month, you take 50 trades and you're still unprofitable. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't care that you took 100 trades in a month. Did you make money? No. Or you're break even. Or you took 50 trades, but your profit $50. All right, yo, like, hello? Like, what are we talking about? I would rather take 1 trade and that 1 trade be fucking whatever the amount is, and I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to chase a trade. Again, it's very simple. It's very simple. You go look at the trade that we took last week on AU on the 4th, beginning of the month. This is the only trade I've taken this month is AU. Yo, 1-4 trade. 1-4 trade. 9 pip stop loss, 45 pip TP. Yo, you think I'm gonna start trading bullshit to give back my profits that I made in the beginning of the month? I'm good. And again, it's a very simple mindset to have, and it's a mindset that thankfully for me I always had even from the beginning of the time that I was trading. Right? A lot of people think short term, and I understand. A lot of people start trading because they need money right now. But again, the reality is that if you're trading just thinking about, yo, I need money right now, you're going to lose. And you're going to lose so much more money than what you're going to make. Right? My philosophy of trading was very simple. I want to get to a point where my account size is big enough to be able to trade 1 trade. You guys see it all the time. Right? How many traders do you see online who take 1 trade and that 1 trade is a 5-figure trade? Right? How many traders do you see take 1 trade and that 1 trade is $3,000, $4,000, 5,000, 10K? Right? You look at, I don't want to use these guys as an example because we already know how they make their money. But you look at TJR, yo, I just made $150,000. Like, yo, if you just made $150,000, I'm gonna use me as an example. Yo, you think I'm really gonna sit there and be like, yo, 150K is not enough off one trade? Yo, 150K, that's a surgeon's salary. That's a lawyer's salary. I, that's the thing with trading is a lot of people who get into trading start looking at money like it's bullshit. Like, yo, 150K, you know what you could do with 150K? You could live so fucking comfortable. That's one trade. So again, I don't need to take 50 trades to look for that one trade. No, all I gotta do is look for one singular fucking trade. That one singular trade is gonna make me 5K. That one singular trade is gonna make me 10K, 20K, whatever the case is. Once my account gets to that size where it's like 150K off of one trade, yo, why am I gonna take 40 trades? You go look at TJR and go look at his Instagram, go look at his stories. Today he makes 150K, tomorrow he's losing 300,000. Why am I trading that way? Why would anybody want to trade that way? Oh, risk management. Fuck that. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Because at that point, are you trading or are you gambling? Two different things. Two completely different things. And if you still think, again, if you're a trader, if you're a person, I'll say, who wants to get into trading, and you still think that trading is gambling, go find another hobby. As Steve Morrill would say, take up photography is a lot cheaper. Get off the charts. Because trading is not gambling. Trading is a real skill that you need to have, and it takes a lot of time and practice to be able to understand this in its entirety. So again, I'm following my rules. Were we trending on AU before we had the entry? No. What do we want to see? A change of character, lower low, lower high. Break of structure of the zone of consolidation, lower low. What am I looking for? Lower high point, 30-minute engulfing, zero drawdown. This is picture perfect. This shit it doesn't get easier than this. That one trade, yo, you're comfortable for the rest of the month. Now you let price do whatever the fuck it wants to do after this. You look for it again. Change of character, break of structure, continuations of the trend. Comfortable. Same thing we're looking for. We already know lower time frame, we have to change in the break. Perfect. We have the inducement of the 4-hour high and the daily highs. Perfect. We have the inducement of the 30-minute highs. We have a change of character. It's just an inducement. Perfect. We already know what the next steps are. Now I'm looking for that entry again on AU. So again, for me, it's very simple. It's a very simple mindset. Again, trading for me is not stressful. I don't feel anxious. I don't have to wait here and be anxious and be like, oh, I'm missing the, like, yo, fuck that. I'm looking for what I know works. And what I know works, the reason I'm so comfortable with it, and the reason that I know it works, is because I backtest. I practice. I look at this on a day-to-day basis. This isn't, oh, one day I'm on the charts, the next day I'm off, and I just did 2 months on the chart and I'm gonna go take a 6-month break. For what? You play a sport? Anybody here play sports? If you played sports, you practice for one day and then bullshit for the next 6 days of the week, or do you practice every single day? Every single day of the month, every single day of the year, every single fucking week, you're practicing. It's the same shit on the charts. You go to school, you practice you study one day when you go to school? No. You're fucking there being a nerd on the books all day. It's the same way in trading. I don't know why people treat this shit any different. I really don't. It's the most mind-boggling thing I've ever seen in my life. That's why I've always said it. Like, teaching this shit is the most stressful thing because it's like, how many people we have in the group? 150 now? Out of 150 people, I mean, look at the stream now. Nobody's here. We start off the year cool, yo, 15 people in here. Fucking the first month of the year because everybody has a New Year's resolution. Fucking New Year's resolution. Same shit when you go look at the gyms. The first 3 weeks of the year, everybody's in the fucking gym, and then what happens? Nobody's at the gym anymore. Happens every year. It's the same shit. Yo, this year I'm gonna make my bed. Yo, this year I'm gonna start showering every single day. Whatever the case is, New Year's resolution, all that shit is bullshit. You gotta put in the work. That's just how it is. You either do it or you don't. I'm tired of. That's why even this year I didn't do that shit in the Discord. Like, yo, show me your New Year's resolution. Fuck that. I don't want to know your New Year's resolution. That shit's just gonna piss me off. How many people you think, yo, this is the year I'm gonna start? It's crazy. It's stupid as fuck. You're either here or you're not. It's just it is what it is. You're either putting in the work or you don't. It's just I'm I don't sugarcoat things. That's not me. That's not what I do anymore. Very, very long time ago, I left that shit behind. So, it's again, trading, you either know it or you know it. There's no in between. This isn't school. You're not gonna pass. You're not gonna get a degree with a C. You're not gonna make money having a 50-50 trading, a 50-50 trading style. There's no way. Again, it's either you know it or you know it. And again, there's no in between. Every time you take a trade, did you follow your rules? No. Okay, you lost. That's it. It's that simple. When you take a trade, you're supposed to follow your rules every single time, no matter what. If you're not following your trades, you're doing something bad. You're creating bad habits for yourself. Horrible habits. And again, you learn that when you play sports, right? When you're younger, you develop bad habits. You get into high school, you go into D1 ball, whatever the fuck it is that you play, and your coaches tell you, "Yo, that's a bad habit. You have to kill that bad habit." A lot of people don't make it into pro sports because they can't kill those bad habits. It's the same way in trading. The more you allow yourself to continue to do those bad habits, the harder it's going to be to be able to let them go. And that's why a lot of people don't make it in trading, because the bad habits they develop when they're learning how to trade, they can't get rid of them. And that's just the reality of it. And again, this is the reason why 95% of traders fail. And again, I'm not going to call them traders. 95% of people who want to start learning how to trade, or 95% of the people who want to be traders, they fail. Why? Because they cannot let go of their bad habits. They can't. It's very difficult. It's easier to pick up bad habits than it is to pick up what you're supposed to do. Always. It's way harder. So start early. So again, if you're somebody who's learning how to trade now, listen to the advice. That's all I could really say. Listen to the advice that you're listen to the advice that people are giving you, especially traders who are already doing this. Let go of the bad habits. Start picking up on the good habits. You guys already see how I'm onto the charts. Guys see it. You guys see it every single day, Monday through Friday, Sunday through Friday, because I do the sessions on Sunday. It's very difficult to let go of bad habits. Stop developing those bad habits. Oh, because you're nervous and you're anxious. Yo, stop trading then. Stop. If you're on your charts and you're nervous, yo, take a step back. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to just turn your computer off, come back later. You're allowed to do that. Again, I always give this example. There was a moment where I was trading at all times of the fucking day, and I was losing a fuck ton of trades. Until one day, this 2023, 2022, I told myself, yo, I'm done. I'm done trading Asia session. I'm done trading London session. Why? Because those are the sessions that I'm losing my trades in. Why? Because we already know the behaviors of the market between Asia session and London session, between 5 p.m. and 3 a.m. in the morning. We already know the behaviors of the markets. We already know it. So I'm done trading that. It took me a minute. It took me a lot of losses to be able to let go of that habit, but I did it. That's it. So hope you guys have a good rest of your night. That was pretty much it. I said the session was only gonna be 30 minutes, but I went on a little rant there at the end. Um, for again, for everybody watching, I guess now nobody was on the live session. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. Inferno, if you're still here, again, that's good questions that you had on the stream, and that's my bad for doing this super quick yesterday and not realizing the mistakes that I was making on the charts. But I hope that everything made sense. And we'll be back again tomorrow morning. If there's anything on the charts in the morning, we'll turn on the stream. We'll do what we got to do in the morning. If not, we'll be live during the isolation session again tomorrow at 7 p.m. So we'll see you guys later. Peace out.